ballot initiative, Friends of the Children's Justice Center Board, Secretary for the Democratic Healthcare Caucus, County and State Delegate for the Democratic Party, Leader of Teen Girls for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Northern Utah Trauma Resiliency Collaborative, and 2018 FBI Citizens Academy graduate. Uh-oh, be careful. Listen, don't say too much to Green. The FBI. All right. She recently ran for office as a Democratic candidate for Utah House of Representatives District 5. Now that takes some courage to run in Cache Valley as a Democrat, doesn't it? And yeah, and don't we love having a choice in our election? So let's welcome Karina Andelin Brown. We're so happy to have her. She's an advocate for everyone, as far as I can tell here.
Thank you so much, Susan, and thanks for everyone who organized this today. And it's so good to see all of you here today. And I'm here today because I know we can change the world. And I'm here today as a representation of the present, but I'm also recognizing the past and the future. The past being my mother and my grandmother, and the present being our 3 teenage daughters and our son. My mother immigrated to the United States from Finland and didn't actually become a citizen until 2 years before she passed away in 2013. So I grew up with her not voting. She was interested in politics, but of course she wasn't a citizen yet, so she couldn't vote. My grandmother thought it was my grandfather's job to vote for her, so she didn't vote. So it's a success for me to be here today because I ran for office and I'm involved in politics and in our community. And I want my daughters to know that they, not only can they vote, but they can be informed, they can know what's going on, they can contribute to their communities, and they can make a difference. And in 2018, as Susan said, I ran for office for Utah House of Representatives District 5. And I was also a sponsor for Proposition 3, Utah Decides Healthcare. And I'd like to talk about those 2 experiences. Running for office was a really positive experience for me. I ran for office, and my campaign slogan was "Your Voice Matters." And some of the lessons that I learned running for office were there are a lot of good people in our state working to make things better for our communities. I also learned to not be afraid of different situations and be open to success. Be positive and know that things will work out. And I also learned even more not to stereotype people. I was in different situations and I thought, oh, this person looks this certain way or dresses a certain way. I bet they think that. And I was totally wrong. Even though I didn't win the election, you don't need to win an election to make a difference. Thank you. I didn't win, but I can see in Cache Valley that we're working more than Washington in a bipartisan way to get things done. After the election, I had dinner with my opponent, current Representative Casey Snyder, and we have communicated several times after the election. I'm working with people in our community to solve problems. I'm on the Chamber of Commerce Legislative Affairs Committee, which happened after the election. I'm the chair of the building committee for the new Family Justice Center that will be built, which happened after the election. I'm president of the Friends of the Children's Justice Center board, and I was elected to that after I lost my election. So my loss to me is actually a win. Another big event for me in 2018 was I was the Proposition 3 sponsor, Utah Decides Healthcare, to expand Medicaid to approximately 150,000 Utahns in Utah. I helped collect signatures for it and help promote it. It all started, my concern about healthcare began in 2015, and knowing about my mother's experience with lack of health care access on and off in her life as a single parent for 20 years with 7 children who had to go back to school and work. And through that experience and that vulnerable experience and sharing it in front of the news media and communicating with legislators, I learned that my voice matters. And in our place of weakness and maybe hardship or something painful that happened to us in our life or the life of a family member, we can use that to make things better for other people. And we can share our stories to make a difference. And stories are powerful. And so, as you know, Proposition 3 passed, and we're working now to make sure, thank you, we're working now to make sure it goes into effect on April 1st. But some of the lessons I learned from my Proposition 3 sponsorship were that it's important to communicate with legislators, with our fellow advocates, with the media. Personal stories and experiences are powerful, and we can work with diverse people to accomplish a goal, and that we need each other. And you don't need that many people to accomplish your goal. You just need people that are united, that are willing to work to make a difference. And the most important thing that I learned is that citizen lobbyists are powerful. Now, after it passed, I'm working to ensure that, as I said, Proposition 3 goes into effect on April 1st. There'll be a rally on January 28th, the first day of the session at 3:30 p.m. at the Capitol, rally against the repeal. Come join me and other advocates to lobby for Proposition 3. I started a podcast on my website, Karina for Utah, to share experiences and current events and how to be a citizen lobbyist. I'm active in the statewide Democratic Healthcare Caucus and working with people and experts about Medicaid expansion. If you're looking to make a contribution and create change in the world, consider these statistics. Human trafficking is an estimated $32 billion worldwide industry. 1 in 5 children under 18 will be sexually abused by the time they are 18. The number one cause of death in children ages 10 to 17 in Utah is suicide. The domestic violence rate in Utah is higher than average. In fact, 44% of murders in Utah are domestic violence related. And Utah is the number 7 in the country for opioid overdoses. And if you're looking for a place to volunteer, you can volunteer at the Children's Justice Center, CAPS of the Family Place, schools, and other organizations. And at this Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, I like to quote him. He said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And I'd like to remind you, your voice matters. Thanks. Your voice matters. Just as you are, you don't have to have a law degree or business degree to make a difference. You don't have to have a title behind your name to make a difference. And let's work together to create a better world, because I know we can change the world together. Thank you.
That is, are we still like half milk, half sugar? A little bit of coffee. Yeah.